He's really pitched well as of late.
And it's a leadoff walk again for Harrison Bader. He has been so good for the Phillies in their leadoff spot.
He'll head on down.
Baseball fans, you know that feeling, right? When every single pitch, every swing, every single play feels like it's loaded with the weight of an entire season? Well, buckle up, because today on Baseball Extra, we're diving deep into a game that had all of that and more. The Diamondbacks, on the cusp of postseason glory, faced off against the Phillies in a crucial showdown. This wasn't just a game. It was a battle for October. Did they clinch it? Stay tuned to Baseball Extra to find out. Welcome back to Baseball Extra. What a time to be a baseball fan, especially if you're following the incredible surge of the Diamondbacks. As we entered the final Sunday home game of the season, the atmosphere was electric. Imagine the tension. Just 2 games out of a coveted postseason spot with only 7 regular season games left. Every single decision, every strategy on the field was magnified. This wasn't just about winning a series against the formidable Phillies. It was about solidifying their position, making a statement that they belong among the elite come October. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Phillies, a team with their own playoff aspirations, were looking to secure their crucial bye in the National League. Their magic number to clinch over the Dodgers was still at 3. So, for both teams, every pitch today held immense significance. This wasn't just a regular season finale. It was a playoff preview, a high-stakes chess match played out on the diamond. The energy in the stadium was palpable, a mix of nervous excitement and unwavering hope from the fans. Everyone knew what was on the line. Taking the mound for the D-backs this afternoon was the seasoned veteran left-hander, Eduardo Rodriguez. Now, E-Rod is a name synonymous with quality starting pitching in this league. A guy who's consistently delivered for a long, long time. Coming into this game, he held a 5.12 ERA, making his 28th start of the year. But don't let that ERA fool you completely. The Diamondbacks had won 8 of his last 9 starts. He had started the season with some struggles, no doubt, but he'd really found his rhythm as the season progressed. Today, he needed to be at his absolute best to pitch with that veteran savvy and keep the Phillies' potent offense in check. And speaking of potent offenses, the Phillies wasted no time trying to get on the board. Harrison Bader, a leadoff hitter who had been phenomenal for them, started things off with a walk. A leadoff walk, especially against a pitcher like Rodriguez, always raises an eyebrow. It puts immediate pressure on the defense. Then came Kyle Schwarber, one of the most dangerous power hitters in the game. E-Rod, however, jammed him with a pitch, and Mart chased it down for a quick out. You love to see that as a manager. 1 pitch, 1 out, getting a slugger like Schwarber to pop out. There was a little bit of trickery on the base pass, but the umpire, Manny Gonzalez, wasn't fooled. Then, the big one, Bryce Harper stepped up. Harper, always a threat. Again, Rodriguez jammed him, but Mart let it drop. Chaos ensued for a moment on the bases as they tried to tag Bader. It was a close call, a testament to the high-pressure situations these teams were in. The Phillies stranded a runner at second, failing to score. E-Rod had navigated the early storm, but the Diamondbacks' offense needed to respond. The Diamondbacks turned to bat. Facing them was Ranger Suarez, the Phillies' left-handed starter. And let me tell you, a couple of D-backs had really good numbers against Suarez, a factor that was surely in the back of their minds. Del Marte, leading it off, demonstrated exactly that, poking one the other way for a base hit. It then became a bit of a defensive adventure for Castellanos in the corner, allowing Marte to turn it into a leadoff double with a swan dive into second. Castellanos, as good as he is offensively, can sometimes be a defensive liability in right field. That ball just took him several steps to slow down, and by the time he got it back into the infield, Marte was already safe at second. A fantastic start for the D-backs. What a year it had been for Marte. He was hitting 289 with 19 homers and 97 RBIs, and he came into this game on a 10-game hitting streak. He then tried to bunt down the third base side, and the fielder charged, but there was no play. Everybody was safe. This aggressive small ball approach, the bunt game, had really become a part of the Diamondbacks' identity in this series against the Phillies. Runners on the corners, nobody out. For Corbin Carroll, this was a dangerous situation for Suarez. Phillies manager Rob Thompson had said that when Suarez is good, he's one of the best in the league. But the D-backs had him in trouble right away. Harper made the play, Marte scored. And they couldn't turn the double play on Corbin, who was safe. It was 1-0 Diamondbacks. It was an E4, an error that really underscored the early chaos the D-backs were creating in this first inning. They were putting pressure on the Phillies' defense, forcing mistakes, and turning them into runs. Ranger Suarez, after a mound visit from Caleb Cotham, was looking for a big out. Facing Blaze Alexander, Suarez got him looking with a strikeout right on the inside corner. A beautiful pitch. Alexander looked back at the plate umpire, Corey Blazer, clearly upset. A ground ball to short then ended the threat. Suarez had worked around a bit of trouble, but the D-backs had landed the first punch. 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 run scored. The second inning picked up right where the first left off. An infield single and another walk opened up the frame, putting more Phillies on base with no outs. And what happened next? Another perfect bunt. This time, Barossa laid down a beauty, and again, no play. Chaos continued to ensue. And just like that, the bases were loaded with no outs. This aggressive, heads-up base running and small ball strategy from the Diamondbacks was simply relentless. 6 of the first 9 batters had reached base safely already, with 5 hits and 2 RBIs in the series. The Phillies were reeling. The next batter delivered a base hit up the middle, scoring 2 more runs. It was now 3-0 Diamondbacks. The first 4 batters of the second inning had all reached base. This D-backs lineup was just getting the barrel on the ball, and it seemed like everything was finding a hole. 2 more runs crossed the plate, making it 5-0. He now had 4 RBIs in the series, and the D-backs had runners at first and third with only 1 out for the incredible Corbin Carroll, who already had an RBI in the first. And then boom, Carroll absolutely crushed a pitch. That was his 31st home run of the season, a moonshot that went 428 feet. The stadium erupted. It was a 6th spot for the Diamondbacks in the second inning, matching the biggest inning of the season for them. The pitcher, Suarez, who had only given up 6 earned runs in his last 6 starts, had now given up 6 runs in just 1 1/3 innings here today. The Diamondbacks were in total control, holding a commanding 6-0 lead against Philadelphia. What a dominant display of offense, showcasing their clutch hitting and aggressive base running. The playoff race was heating up, and the D-backs were making a statement. Even with a commanding lead, there was still a lot of baseball left in this game. Weston Wilson led off for the Phillies in the third, and Erod continued to impress, getting his first strikeout of the game. He then faced Schwarber again, and what a curveball. He completely fooled Schwarber, getting his second strikeout. He was truly settling in, showing that veteran composure. Harper, who was 0 for 4 last night and had grounded out his first time up today, then lined the ball directly into the glove of Mart for an out. Erod was through 3 innings with a dominant 6-0 lead, looking absolutely locked in. He continued his masterful performance, getting a dramatic strikeout of JT Realmuto in the 4th. That's the kind of strikeout you see when a hitter gets completely fooled by an off-speed pitch, or in this case, a sinker down and in. The bat went flying, clearing the third base coach's box. Impressive distance. Despite a couple of hits, Erod navigated through the inning, finishing with 4 strikeouts in 4 scoreless frames. He was staying patient, working the zone, and the Phillies were struggling to make solid contact. The D-backs' offense wasn't done yet, adding more icing to what was already a very sweet cake. Jorge Barossa, batting 9th and playing center, stepped up. And guess what? He launched one way back. His first major league home run. That's number 1 for number 1, and it made it 7-0. Pure joy on the field and in the dugout. A truly special moment for a young player, adding to the growing lead. And then history was made. Corbin Carroll, who had homered earlier, wanted to get a little payback from Mark getting one to the wall, and he got it. His 30th stolen base of the season. No throw, and just like that, it was the first ever 30-30 season in Diamondbacks history. He had homered and stolen a base in the same game, a truly appropriate way to achieve such a monumental milestone. All he needed was one of his teammates to take a pitch so he could steal, and the moment was seized. Diamondbacks history, right there, etched into the record books. The first ever 30-30 season, a testament to Carroll's incredible all-around game and a highlight in this thrilling playoff push. Sometimes, you can just look at a pitcher and tell by his facial expressions, the way he carries himself, that he's near the end, but not with Eduardo Rodriguez. He is so calm, cool, and collected. Even in the 7th, after working 6 scoreless innings, he looked poised. However, the Phillies weren't going down without a fight. Bryson Stott smashed a double off the wall to start the 7th, putting a runner in scoring position. Then, things got a bit chippy. A pitch went behind Weston Wilson, and there was definitely some purpose behind that. Corey Blazer, the acting crew chief, issued warnings to both dugouts, and Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, was visibly upset. It was clear the Phillies felt a message was being sent. Ultimately, Erod's day was done, and after an outstanding performance, working into the seventh at 95 pitches and responsible for 2 runners. He had delivered exactly what the D-backs needed. The bullpen came in, and they were tested. The Phillies did manage to get on the board, with Nick Castellanos finally breaking through with an RBI single, making it 8-1. They then loaded the bases, prompting a visit to the mound from Brian Kaplan. A walk then brought in another run, cutting the lead to 8-2. Phillies fans were making some noise, trying to ignite a late-game rally. But the Diamondbacks, with their electric players like Corbin Carroll, continued to showcase their talent. Carroll turned what would be a base hit for most guys into an easy double, then moved to third on a wild pitch, showcasing his incredible speed and base-running instincts. He came across with run number 9 after a bare hand play at first. It was a 4-hit day for him, reaching base for the 5th time. And finally, in the 9th inning, with the Phillies having 2 on and 2 out, Castellanos stepped up once more. Runners were on the move, but a swing and a miss on that changeup sealed it. The Diamondbacks took the series from the Phillies. They were now just 1 game out of a postseason spot with 6 games left to play. What a run they had made, winning 19 of their last 31 games. This team was absolutely surging at the perfect time, demonstrating their incredible team chemistry and resilience. The postseason chase was officially on fire. This team has shown incredible fight, resilience, and a never-say-die attitude throughout this entire MLB season. Every fan on Baseball Extra knows that these are the games you live for, the moments that define a season. What a thrilling win, and what an incredible journey for the Diamondbacks as they push for a spot in October. Well, that was a game for the ages, wasn't it? The Diamondbacks proving once again that they are a force to be reckoned with in this playoff race. If you enjoyed this deep dive into all the action, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Baseball Extra for more in-depth analysis, highlights, and all the latest news from around the league. We'll keep you covered as the postseason picture gets clearer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Baseball Extra.